Holy catfish. Welcome in, everyone. Have a beautiful Black Friday this year.
Yep.
What a beautiful day it was. Actually sunny outside in Western Washington.
Gorgeous
How
day.
are you tonight, Nathan?
I'm doing good. 2025 is coming to a close very soon.
Yeah, 1 month.
1 month, and had too much food yesterday and Thanksgiving. Good Thanksgiving, though, actually.
That's why our dinner tonight is whiskey, right?
Yes, brought to you by our future sponsors. We are starting with the Macallan 12, which is,
Double
just...
oak.
It's. Would you say the gold standard?
It's the OG.
It's the standard, right? When you think of a single malt Scotch aged whiskey.
If we're going to measure something against a standard age statement whiskey that's actually accessible at all,
Yep.
Mac 12 is the point. So, without further ado, cheers to the evening.
Just cheers to having a baby.
We'll see if I leave halfway through.
I'm going to keep doing that because it's going to frustrate Daniel and amuse me. But also, on a more serious note, there could be a baby tonight.
Yeah,
you never know.
If wife goes into labor, we're ending the show, or I'm ending my portion of the show.
So,
nice and early.
Yeah. So again, 10 years from now, what will we be thinking, looking back at this stupid episode of
Yeah,
recording
that'd be
something?
pretty funny, actually.
It's kind of a snapshot in history. So
That's a good point. Good point. A little meditative.
Yeah.
In fact, speaking of meditative, besides our Mac 12 meditation, I have something completely not serious at all, and it's in the world of sports betting.
Oh, yeah. Talk to
Kick
me.
us off tonight. So, to run you by a couple things, I'm going to ask your thoughts on a couple of takes. So, we're going across the NFL real fast, and I won a couple of minor parlays recently, right? I do little bits. I don't do anything major.
You dabble.
And I dabble. And one of the ones we dabbled in that worked well was a 3-team parlay last week. I had Browns +5 against the Raiders. The line was 3.5. I bought it up to 5. Was like, they will cover. They will either lose by a tiny bit, but the Browns defense and the Raiders dysfunction meant that felt good. Second was Arizona Cardinals +4.5. Again, bought by 1.5 points against the Jaguars, just because the Cardinals tend to be fine against those mediocre, not quite playoff teams or borderline playoff teams.
Yeah, they don't have many wins, but we all keep saying they're not a bad team.
They're not a bad team. They're just
not great.
They're just not good.
Yeah.
And then the Seattle Seahawks to win against the Titans, which felt like easy money.
That's easy money.
That was minus 1,100 though, so no one was betting the other way.
Right. Yeah.
But that 3-team parlay ended up being some money, so that was positive.
Yeah.
And then I lost a 4-team parlay that I had set up directly afterwards because the Panthers +9 at the 49ers did not cover.
Yeah.
Did not come close to covering. All right, moving on. So this week, I'd like to ask. Again, I like to do these 3 or 4 team parlays. So I've got number 1, Packers at Lions.
Yep.
Typically kind of a standard Thanksgiving game, right? I don't know. Did you watch those yesterday?
I did watch part of that game.
Okay.
I was sad for Lions fans.
Yes.
They've lost so many times on Thanksgiving and in general, but it just bummer.
So the line was Packers +2.5.
Okay.
Right. So if they were going to lose by less than 3, tie or win, that would get the line. So I bumped it up to 4, bought it up to 4, and said, they'll keep it within essentially a field goal, right? Like they will lose by a field goal, tie or win. They won.
Yep.
And pretty handily.
Yep.
So that felt easy money to me. Now let's look at the 3 upcoming. So we've got 3 upcoming. We've got Texans at Colts.
Okay.
The line is Colts -5. Yes. Or Texans +5.
Okay.
If you will.
Yep.
So I went with Texans +5.
Yep.
Said that defense hasn't lost. They've not lost by more than the 1-score game this season. The Colts started off hot.
Yes, they did.
They seem to be declining. And then I bought it up to 6.5, which means technically the Texans could lose by 6 and I still cover.
Yeah, the Colts are interesting because they have like elite secondary pieces, and the quarterback play has been so good, and Daniel Jones has the injury, right? And so that's
And
kind
Jonathan Taylor has been
of a monster.
elite.
Yes. Thank you very much. I will keep rocking with him in Dynasty.
So given that, it felt like a safe bet.
Mm-hmm.
That felt like
Mm-hmm.
almost a guarantee
Mm-hmm.
that if they lose, they won't lose by much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It'll be close.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm actually a little surprised that the line is what it is.
Right,
Maybe
yeah.
someone knows something I don't,
Yeah.
but I feel like that feels
They don't.
fine. The Rams at the Panthers.
Okay. What is that line?
So I took the Rams to win outright, period,
Yes. Yes.
at minus 575, so strong favorites.
Yes.
And said, I think that's worthy of the parlay. I
Okay.
don't think there's a chance of an upset. I
Yeah,
don't see
no.
a path where
No.
the Rico Dowdle and Bryce Young
No.
and Ted
Not
McMillan, who
against-
looks good,
Sean McVay. No.
not against the Rams defense,
No.
right? I don't think they hold it together.
Stafford's
if
playing
they-
as well as anyone.
Stafford
so.
is MVP candidate right now.
Yep.
Right.
Stupid.
And then I added on the Vikings at Seahawks. Seahawks to win outright. Again, at minus 650 means it's strong favorites.
Yeah.
But that's how you kind of build parlays. A couple of things you think
Mm-hmm.
could happen and are likely to happen, but are not guarantees. And a couple of things that are as close to guarantees as you think they
Yep.
could be.
Yep.
And that bumps up your money a little bit. So the
Yep.
overall parlay is the Packers Lions, which we
Okay.
already know,
Yep. One.
and Packers to cover.
Yes. Okay.
They covered. They
Yep,
were the
they
underdogs.
covered.
They covered.
Yep.
Texans at Colts. Texans to cover. They're the underdogs.
Okay. Yep.
Rams to win outright. Seahawks to win outright.
Yep.
That felt
Feels pretty safe.
pretty safe.
Yeah.
Ends up being, with that parlay, somewhere around plus 350, which means 3.5 times your money you're putting
Okay.
in.
Yeah.
That feels really
That-
safe.
That's really good. Yep.
Okay.
I like that.
All right. The only fun one I did, we'll see what your thought is on this. I did Rams, Seahawks, and Bills each to score 25 plus points.
Bills are playing against.
So Rams were against Panthers, Seahawks are against Vikings,
Yep.
and Bills. That's a good question. I knew it when I set this one. Bills schedule.
I mean, I would say that does seem pretty
Steelers.
safe. Steelers.
Steelers are so
That's
inconsistent.
the,
that
that's
felt
the
like
only
that
one.
could happen.
It could happen. Yeah, and I wouldn't. Yeah, I expect the Bills to win that game, but that's the only one that gives me pause. Everything else.
I'm not even betting that they're going to win.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I'm just betting that they're going to score.
They're gonna
25
score
points.
points. Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah. You got Josh Allen. So
Cool.
what else do you say?
Final parlays. These are quick and easy ones.
Mm-hmm.
Back to that Houston Indianapolis game.
Mm-hmm.
Went with some players.
Mm-hmm.
There's a parlay for that. Woody Marks, the starting running back now
Mm.
for the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of interesting that he overtook things so late in the season, but
Mhm.
let's
It
go.
happens,
Right? It
yeah.
happens. Rookie.
Yeah.
Later round rookie.
Yep.
Gets 13 or more carries,
Okay.
which seems reasonable given
As a
how much
starting.
he's
Yeah.
taken off.
Mhm.
Especially if they keep it close or they're in the lead.
Mm. Mhm.
Right, they're going to run the ball. It feels like that's normal.
Yep.
Daniel Jones over half an interception. So
Okay.
he will throw. I'm betting that he will throw a pick.
This is at Indianapolis or at in Houston?
It is Texans at Colts.
Okay. Okay.
So he's at home, but I'm going to bet that based on the streak currently,
Yeah.
he's not suddenly fixing the INT problem. That
Yeah.
he throws one.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
think that's
It's
like
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Houston again covers the line,
Okay.
so plus 6.5.
Okay.
They keep
Yep.
it within 6. And Indianapolis's total points under 23.5. They score 23 or less points. I think that's safe based on what the Texans have done. The only time they haven't held a team to that line, to well under that line in the last 5 games is the Jaguars, who surprisingly kept it super close,
Right.
but still lost.
Yeah. I mean, it's a division game, right? So it's going to be chippy. So
And again, I think the Texans defense we would say is top 3
yeah, they're very good.
right now.
Yeah,
Performing
both have good defenses
Yeah.
and are good players on defense.
Great.
Do you
Last,
trust in Daniel Jones, basically?
Yeah, last parlay is going to transition us into our topics for the evening.
Okay, yeah.
And it is the Seahawks-Vikings game upcoming this weekend.
Yes.
I have K9 under 16.5 carries.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, with how much Charbonnet does get work, even though K9's been getting more work, right? I think he had 13 touches last week, and he's been running well. Yeah, that's very safe. Just with how we use our running backs, even when we had Halani healthy, right? We were mixing him in a little bit. So K9 never. We're just not the team right now that gives any running back like 20 carries.
So K9 got 11 carries last week.
Okay. Yeah, he just
against the Titans.
He doesn't. He's not the guy you give the ball to every time. That's not how this offense functions.
Against the Rams, for context, he had the 16 carries exactly, and that would still win in this parlay because it's saying 16.
Yeah, and that's a high amount for him, I think.
They're saying he's going to get 17 or more.
Yeah,
I'm saying
no.
I don't think that's happened this year, and I'm not certain it's going to.
I could see a case for that happening, and we'll talk about this game if it moves into a blowout. But even then, I think with a blowout, you're not putting him out. I mean, it's going to be, hey, let's get K9 out, right?
I was going to say.
He's got 100 yards, the beginning of the third quarter on his second touch. And we're like, we're going to pull him after 14 carries, and he went for
if this is a
120.
blowout in our favor, he's coming out.
Yep.
Earlier.
Yep.
And Charbonnet is getting rotated in more, is my thought process.
Yep. And we activated some guys,
Yeah, because Holani is out for this game, so there's not that trusted third stringer quite as much. But they brought in, was it Cam Akers this week?
Cam Akers,
right.
Yep.
Which is kind of a troll move given the whole connection to the Vikings. But
it's funny.
I do like that gamesmanship.
It's funny.
It's not that they won't run the ball. It's just that I don't think K9, since he hasn't gotten 17 or more carries, really,
Yeah.
I'm not certain he's going to.
No, it's just it's not how we're operating right now at all.
Okay,
It'd be surprising.
Second part of the parlay is Seahawks win.
Yep. Okay.
Outright.
Bye.
Third part of the parlay is Seahawks total points.
Okay.
Over 26.5. I'm saying they will score at least 27 on the Vikings.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, with how Sam's been chucking it around and I mean, again, we'll talk about it in a second, but the Sam Darnold revenge game is the easy narrative to kind of talk about, but...
So let's look at the last 5 games.
Okay, yeah.
Titans.
Yep.
We score 30.
Yep.
The only one we don't score 27 or more is against the Rams, where we score 19.
Division, 4 interceptions.
4 interceptions, no touchdown. Seahawks score 44 against the Cardinals. Seahawks score 38 against the Commanders. Seahawks score 27, which is what we need, against the Texans. 4 out of the last 5 games, they've passed that 27-point threshold.
Yeah.
I see nothing on film that says they take their foot off the gas in the first half. I see everything on film that says, they kind of lighten up, in the second half.
They do.
Maybe intentionally, maybe not.
Yeah, I don't love how they're closing games out right now for whatever reason, but the closest game to me, to the Vikings that we have, is the Cardinals.
Yep.
That's the closest, and that was 44 points. So
I see nothing saying we won't score at least 27.
Agreed.
And then total points for the game combined.
Okay.
Over 38.5. I bet that down a little bit. So that's a lower line than listed. I think the listed line is 40.5. So they're saying combined score, right, out of both teams' points would have been 41. I bet it down to say 39. Right? If we score at least 27, they'll score at least 12. I think they can. And I think we can score more than 27 too.
Yeah, if they're scoring, what I think will happen, if they're scoring more than 17, they got a touchdown in garbage time.
Totally.
With the way this defense is playing.
Yeah, like the Cam Ward one in the last minute last week. Yep. Yep. So I think overall we're kind of in the K9 under 16.5 carries. We know the game script they like. Even if they give him more work than they had been giving him, I'm not certain he's going to pass 17 carries. Seahawks are going to win. If they don't, that's a major upset.
Yeah.
Seahawks are going to score 27 or more points.
Yep.
It's more likely than not. The total score for the game will be over 38.5. Again, I think that's more likely than not because almost every Seahawks game is more than 39 points or more combined.
Yep.
So,
Because we put up points.
correct.
That's,
Yeah. I mean, we just listed those other scores. We had 30, we had 44, we had 38, we had 27.
Yep.
The only one where it wasn't that was against the Rams, and there still was a combined total point score of 40. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, we consistently both put up points and also don't allow points. So it gives you a good barometer of, like, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and we haven't been the elite defense on the season in terms of total points allowed.
Really?
We've been elite.
That surprises me a little bit.
We have been elite in many factors. Let's pull up the Seahawks on the season. So points allowed 217. That is fourth in the league. It's top 5. It's elite overall. But if you want to look at the last 5 weeks, this isn't a traditional elite defense in the view of looking back, right? We allowed 24 points from the Titans, 21 points from the Rams, 22 points from the Cardinals, only 14 from the Commanders, and 19 from the Texans. If you incorporate backwards, you'll see the ones where we were holding the scores low. 17 from the Niners, 17 from the Steelers, 13 from the Saints, right? 12 from the Jaguars.
Yeah.
Those are the ones where we were really holding them down. When we do the last 5-week view, it's just a little different.
Yeah. Well, and that's been one of the criticisms. It's hard to even say a criticism when it's year 2 and a new coaching regime and year 1 with a new quarterback and another new OC and new system. All that being said, I mean, if your expectation is that this team is legit playoff caliber, and we can talk about where they are in that, coming into this season, I don't think no one's outside the Seahawks building maybe was that they are 13, 14 wins, right?
And they very well could and should.
They are in that discussion. And so that being said, when you look at it from, we think this team should be 13 to 14 wins, right? Okay, well, you go back, look at the games. Like, we're up so far by the first half that we kind of coast, but we don't really, we kind of bleed out is what happens consistently. So the points to me don't really tell the narrative of how good the defense is.
Correct.
And we also don't completely shut them down. So it's a weird thing that happens. But like the Titans getting 24, okay, that game was not close.
No.
So that feels like you should take 7 points off for that. The Rams game, we held them to 21. I mean,
and
that's
they
a division
only scored
game.
a couple of those.
With crazy field
short
goals. Yeah.
fields.
With 4 interceptions, they scored 21 points. Again, Cardinals also scored some garbage points. That was, they were boat raced. That was like, oh my goodness, are they going to score anything that day?
Commanders didn't really score. Texans
14,
didn't really score.
Commanders, Texans 19.
Jaguars didn't really
Texans also were helped out by some pretty horrible officiating that happened where we should have gotten a safety and different stuff. Jags 12. And then the Bucs, you have Baker that comes in with a defense that had half of its starters out. So, yeah. I don't know. Interesting points, discussions, parlays. Should we move on to the Vikings game this week?
Yeah, I might say let's look backwards and look forwards, right?
How far do you want to go back from the bye week?
I think the last time we sat down, did this, was right before the bye week kicked in. And so looking from the bye week onwards, there's not much to say about the Commanders game. Like, it was rough to watch. It's the same. We talked about it then. It was the same area of the field in the same situation as that RG3 injury against us in that playoff game. And it's just hard to watch those things because Jaden Daniels is so talented and we want him on the field.
It was respects. A little deja vu going on almost. But, we went in and just were...
That was a dominant. And again, the next week against the Cardinals was pretty much that too.
Oh yeah, no, the Cardinals was even more. It was like when's the last time we had a home game that was a blowout? And it's been many years. I've not seen it as a season ticket holder, which is year 4 for me.
And
so
it's really fun to.
It's been at least blowouts. 4 and probably more. I'd say 7.
So we lost the Rams game. It was away. We were within 2 points. We missed that last second field goal and threw 4 interceptions and only lost by 2.
Yeah, and you look at the time of possession, right? It's like just all the numbers, everything stacked. If you were to pull those 4 interceptions away, you'd have thought we won in a dominant fashion. So what I really take from that game, I really still dislike Sean McVay and the Rams. They drive me crazy. But for the first time, just like we're talking about the blowout win against the Cardinals, for the first time in many years,
Yeah.
our roster not only, I think they looked better than the Rams, but I think they are. Like, we have a deep roster now. We can clearly say that. And it felt like we had a better roster than them. Like, yep, they won the game. Give them credit. They managed to, get into Sam Darnold's head, whatever, all that stuff. Like, they won. That's what matters at the end of the day. But to have a team that had a better roster where it felt like, once again, they almost got lucky. Like,
So the real question that came out of that game was about Sam Darnold in big moments. That was really the only big question that came out. It's, does pressure get to his head, right? The New York market, it's still fun to make fun of the Jets because they haven't had a good quarterback in their system in years, and yet frequently they have ones come out and overperform or do fine, be average or above average
when they're not with the
else.
Jets. Yeah.
And so, there's criticism about New York itself, about the Jets itself, about the owner, right? Like,
it almost feels not relevant to like whatever he did there is just like, okay, it was with the
it's just
Jets.
part of it.
That's like being in AAA. Like,
but the things that people were worried about with him on the Vikings, despite him winning 14 games and being a near MVP candidate at certain points of the season, was the ending 2 games in the big spots.
Yeah, Mike
was it pressure.
Mike McDonald was asked about this week, and he just talked about, I think that's not a great way of looking at it because it's such a small sample size. He's like, okay, well, if you want to isolate and look at the last 2 games of anyone's season, he's like, that's not a good way of looking at data, basically, is what he. So, who knows what he's saying or really thinking, but that's publicly what he's saying, is that saying, yeah,
it's a completely
the big
logical
moment
point.
thing is just, okay, that's 3 games, I think for me, the worrying factor is knowing how good of a head coach Sean McVay is, as much as I hate him, and how smart he is. So I go, I don't buy into the narrative that he's not great in big moments, but what I might buy into a little bit would be the Sean McVay factor of his defense and whatever being in his head a little bit.
Well, and that's the one when we say big moments.
Yeah,
I'm not certain there's any part of me that's like, oh, Sam Darnold is worse on a specific game than any other.
Yeah.
I do think there's other factors like, does Sean McVay do certain things to prepare the team, to prepare the situation that does, in fact, get into his head?
Yeah.
Right? Are there things pre-game, during game, right, that he can do leading up to it, during the week of, et cetera?
And they have a good defense.
Maybe does Sam Darnold get spun up a little bit, right, internally as well?
I mean,
it's a question.
It is a question. The last quarterback for the Seahawks that threw 4 was Russell Wilson in the NFC Championship game. But then I go back to Russell Wilson against the Rams. His last couple of years going against them, he was frustrated. I mean, we had a playoff loss at home, right? That was the one he came to the podium and was like, well, I'm a winner. I've always been a winner. And you were like, this guy is broken. Granted, the Rams had Aaron Donald, who's just, a 1-for-1. But they don't have Aaron Donald, but they have just legitimate players. Like, so
there is the question then, if we just direct it to on the field, because you'd start talking players. So let's talk it. The scheme, the defensive scheme currently that the Rams are using changes a little bit week to week. They've got all these good defensive linemen, young players across the defense, and it's, again, alongside the Texans, alongside the Browns, alongside the Seahawks, it's dominant. Right? It's really, really good.
Yep. Good players, good young players, good scheme.
Yeah.
Well coached.
The Chiefs and the Eagles have the personnel, right? But they've been somehow underperforming recently, right? Like, that's a thing. When we look at what they did, the thing that was brought up frequently was interior pressure. Pressure using the defensive tackles and stuff like that. And that conversation happened right after we found out for that Rams game, I believe, that Olu was starting at center. So 2 sides. One is what the Rams did, what their game plan was, and whether it had any impact on Olu or was based around Olu or not. Like, that was their plan, and they worked it, and it worked.
Yep.
Right. if Darnold isn't an escape through the C gap, the B gap guy, right? If he's not around the tackle somewhere, then that's a problem, right? Because he is a pocket guy at his core. The flip side is Olu so limited in certain regards, right? Physically.
It's physically limited, and then you have Bradford, who's mentally limited. Yeah.
Yeah, and Bradford, it's funny because I keep looking at him. I keep thinking, I'm starting to see what the coaches see when they say he has power no one else has. He can do things no one else can, right? Like him bowling someone over, going forward.
Yeah. When he actually connects
multiple guys.
Yeah.
When he sets his feet, when he has momentum on his side, is nearly unstoppable.
Yep.
The flip side is his balance and pass pro is horrendous. And I don't know if that's mental.
Yeah.
I think that's almost physical limitation of
that's
saying
almost scary.
He's going to hold that weight. What is he? What was the formal listing? Was it
Anthony Bradford?
Yeah. Is it 360? Is it 340?
He's not. It's going to be closer to 340, but he probably plays higher. I just think of the Seahawks team overall, and looking at a position group, and I don't think you can make the strong case that anywhere else on the entire team is there a weaker position group, and that includes Gray Zabel. The problem is that it includes Oluwatimi and Anthony Bradford, right? I would say the next closest spot would probably be linebackers, pass coverage linebackers, right?
Yeah.
Where you're kind of throwing some no-name guys. But you have Ernest Jones, who's an absolute stud. And we've had good linebacker play this year from just random dudes. And that's also Mike McDonald's background. Yes. If we had a head coach who's like, I'm a former interior player.
Upper 330s on the website.
Okay.
And from his combine.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he
definitely plays above that.
Yeah, he plays above that. I don't know. It's weakness on strength. One of the strongest areas of the Rams' whole team is their defensive line. And one of the weakest areas of our whole team, not our whole O-line, but our interior O-linemen. And I even say Gray Zabel is playing great, right? He's also still a rookie. So I wouldn't be looking at him to be like, you need to be the leader and figure this out. So he could have good play while also making errors that maybe we as fans are not going to necessarily know. But as a well-coached Rams team would know, right? Okay, Gray Zabel is great, trick him into moving this way, right, so that we can get to the quarterback. Mm-hmm. All that to say, we played the Rams last year as well and every year before, and we didn't have 4 interceptions, right?
No. So it is the question of if they found a thing that works against him. Yeah, he's not Russell Wilson, and he wasn't whatever magic Geno Smith had while he was here, even with bad O-lines, with Pete Carroll, with some of the other situations. Like, is it as simple as you can rattle this guy if, and only if, you shut down and the only lane that's open is between guard and tackle. The only lane that's open is the B gap, right? You've dragged the tackles around the edge. You've applied pressure up both A gaps. So the guard, the center, and the guard are staying centered, right? Maybe collapsing inwards a little bit. They're pushing him outwards, but the tackle is coming around, so he has to go up B gap. And normally that's the place you don't want Lamar Jackson. You don't want Jaden Daniels. You don't want the hypermobile guys. You don't want Bo Nix. Like, you don't want Patrick Mahomes going, Josh Allen, name the names, right? All the guys who can do that. You don't want him going through the B gap.
Yeah.
Because he'll just escape and past your linebacker.
Yeah.
He'll gain 4 and slide, or he'll gain 15 and slide.
Yeah.
Right? If you leave that uncovered. Darnold will take that once in a while.
Yeah.
He has the athleticism to do that. But what if the entire game plan is he doesn't want to? We know he doesn't want to. That's the worst place for him. Push him there.
Yeah, it's hard to know without knowing game plans and without knowing the scheme they're really running to. What was the reason? Was it pressure? Was it simulated pressure? Was it disguising? They did something really well. Props to them. But again, there's a reason that he's a starting quarterback in the NFL, and it's not because he throws 4 interceptions.
Right.
Like, that's just not. If if Sam Darnold is throwing 4 interceptions consistently, then you're going with the next guy.
Yep.
So,
And that's all it ends up being, right? The Titans game the week after, last week, was not nearly as close as the score. It was not 30-24.
no.
It was 30-24, only in score because the last minute.
Yep.
Right. Cam Ward looked better than he had in other weeks. Totally.
He made a lot of plays happen.
He was the reason anything happened.
It
half
was
the time.
just him making stuff up, though.
Yeah.
It was him improvising. Reminded me a little bit, actually, of Russell Wilson with some of
Yeah.
the stuff he did. But,
He looks better and better as the season goes on. He looked horrific for the first half.
Yeah, he
He's
might be
looking better.
fine. Who knows?
But the Titans roster is horrendous.
Yep.
The funny thing is that the Vikings roster isn't horrendous.
No.
But this next week, 2 days from today, we play them, and we won't even see J.J. McCarthy, who's really struggled
Mm-hmm.
in his first year starting.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to see Max Brosmer,
Mm-hmm.
also a rookie,
Mm-hmm.
6th round pick,
Yep.
and we know nothing about him.
Yeah.
Except he's a rookie 6th round pick.
So I'm curious your thoughts on this game. It's been a while since I've attended a blowout. It's been a while since I've had a lot of confidence going into a home game. I just feel so many things going to this game.
Oh, he was an undrafted free agent.
Wasn't even
Please
drafted.
pardon me.
Yeah, but I would say it doesn't matter. That's when reports are coming out that McCarthy. It might help the Vikings actually that McCarthy's sitting. Honestly, with how bad he's been playing, I would also say it doesn't matter. It actually does not matter with this defense and this defensive line. With what Lawrence is doing right now, I mean, it reminds me of the Seahawks' bad O-lines where you'd hike the ball and then it was like Evan was going backwards.
Yep.
Like I fully expect on Sunday, whoever's playing quarterback for them, Brosner, he'll start at least. He's going to hike the ball and he's going backwards. Like he's taking a 5 to 7 step drop, and like the offensive linemen are literally just getting obliterated. They're getting destroyed, and it looks like name the player, Byron Murphy, whoever is just sprinting. Like there's no one there.
So
to
we're
block
saying
them.
between Tank,
Well,
DeMarcus Lawrence,
yes,
between
Big Cat.
Yeah, Big Cat. Man, this is hard because Byron Murphy, I almost wanted to list second, but
Reed's
Lawrence
still
has
out.
just been so big recently. Big Cat, Lawrence, Byron Murphy on the line, and then you add in kind of the other OLB.
Well, Numosa's been playing well.
Nuosu's
Boyer's been playing well.
awesome for the last few games.
I mean, you just have guys.
Yeah,
you
Derek
just have guys
Hall.
you're throwing.
I mean, when he's rushing, it's dangerous.
You've
and
got a bunch of
scary.
dogs.
Yeah,
Yeah. Again,
it's just hard to.
I just don't think it matters. I'm expecting a big win on Sunday. You're going against a rookie with Mike McDonald's defense.
Yeah, good
Like
luck.
good,
Have fun.
like NFL head coaches currently right now have no idea what that man is doing. The quarterback hikes the ball, and people are like, "Dear Lord, what is happening?" Like he is dropping both of his defensive tackles into coverage and blitzing a nickel corner who's insane.
Yeah.
And just no idea what is happening. I expect that quarterback, whoever he is going to get obliterated. On top of that, we have Sam Darnold, who you can say what you want, what the vibes were when he left the Vikings. Yes, it ended badly with him. He also took them to 14 wins. How many wins do they have in the season this year? 3?
3.
So he took them to 14 wins, and they didn't bring him back. Like, I don't care what GM you are. If you find the guy, like the quarterback, it doesn't matter if you drafted a quarterback number 1 that year and you found the guy as the vet. You play whatever the guy is. And that clearly was Sam Darnold, and they let him go. Like, for a number with the Seahawks that was not even insane. You cannot tell me that if the Vikings had offered the same contract to Sam Darnold that the Seahawks were, which was basically a 1-year deal, like not a great contract for Darnold at all, you cannot tell me that he would not have gone back to Minnesota. Yeah. Like, that team is like, hey, we embrace you, you're our guy. They didn't. So as much as Darnold's going to underplay it, like we're humans. There's that factor that's there. Like, the defense is playing at an elite level against a rookie quarterback, an undrafted quarterback, for a team that is not making the playoffs, for players that are probably quitting, and then factor on top of that, you have Sam Darnold, who's playing at a crazy high level against his former team.
Yeah. There's no reason this shouldn't be a simple blowout.
Like Cardinals, this should
Right.
be we're scoring the 40s, and they're getting some garbage point, which pushes them up to 20.
Yeah. Last time we talked Devin Witherspoon, and that was an interesting conversation. It was. Here's the update.
Yeah.
Do you remember last time he was like the 10th overall rated corner?
Oh, do I remember
Yeah.
that time?
Like the
Like
last
a
time we
time?
talked.
Oh, the last time we talked. Yeah.
1 month
Yeah,
ago.
yeah. We were.
He was like the 10th overall.
Yep. We had a
corner.
lengthy discussion about it.
Or safety. He was
DB, whatever.
something.
Yeah.
Right. They were trying to figure out what he was. Emanwari is now still being called a corner for some reason. He's
Okay.
14 overall, which is awesome.
Yep.
But they're so confused what the heck he is.
Yeah.
Here's the corners who rank above Devin
PFF.
Witherspoon. PFF grades only this year.
Is it the Colts guys?
Jamel Dean, the corner for Tampa Bay,
Okay.
and that's it.
Well, and what the discussion, a lot of the last time we talked about this revolved around there's no elite, or there isn't a lot of elite DBs playing right now.
Correct. And I want to give some interesting context here. They track the number of defensive snaps where players on the field, and the max snaps that these corners are tracked to be on the field is 778. That's Dax Hill with Cincinnati.
Okay.
Right. So that's a traditional every down cornerback.
Okay.
The highest graded corners are Jamel Dean, who was on the field for half of that. Devin Witherspoon, who's on the field for half that.
Yeah.
James Pierre, the Pittsburgh corner, who's on the field for like a third of that.
Yeah.
Chidobe Awuzie from Baltimore,
Yep.
who was on the field for like 2/3, like a little over half of that. And then DJ Turner, who finally plays essentially every down for the Bengals. But the top 4 graded corners per PFF, believe their grades or not, whatever, like are on the field for like half the snaps. Right? They're there. They're playing significant snaps, but they're being rotated clearly in packages or situations.
Yep.
His pass rush grade is number 2 overall among cornerbacks. That's only 9 snaps, but it's a above elite grade at 91.6.
Yes.
Which we know because he's being rushed effectively, not even once a game.
Yep.
But when he's rushed,
He generally gets home or
he
has
gets home
pressure.
or has
Yeah.
high pressure.
Yep.
His coverage grade is 79.6, which puts him in the top 15 across cornerbacks. And I mean, Emanwari sneaking onto a bunch of these things. The run defense grade, yeah, he's up there, and Devin Witherspoon's up there too. And so, to your point from a month ago, the thing that hasn't changed is that there's one total elite graded corner. It's Jamel Dean. There are only 2 corners graded as great, right, in the 80s grades. And it's Devin Witherspoon and James Pierre from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, there are 3. 3 guys who are having not just good years, but great years or elite years. Still the same, but what is fascinating about this is that Witherspoon is the second best in the league corner. So despite us having, I think, totally fair issues with the value and what he can provide, he is the second best in the league. There's just not much better anywhere. That's the best it gets.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because you wouldn't think there's a dearth at corners like in the league. That's not like you think of offensive linemen or like, yeah, there's a lot of bad offensive lines and linemen because there just isn't that many, right? But you don't think that way when it comes to DBs. I have no idea historically what that looks like. I'm certain if we were to go back to like 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, those years, these DBs would not match up to any of those DBs that were playing at a high level. It was also just a different era, right? So there's a lot of reasons and factors.
Well, think about the guys today who would look like those corners, right? Not necessarily play at the level of, but look like those corners from 10 years ago. Sauce Gardner, right?
Sauce Gardner has the draft capital and the size.
And the size.
Right.
And the measurables. All of them. plus the stuff to back it up. And he's 12th overall, right? He's got a great run defense grade, horrendous pass rush grade on only 4 pass rush attempts, so take it or leave it.
Yep.
And a lower coverage grade by a few points, right? 6 percentage points than Devin Witherspoon. Who else looks like the corners of old? We would say it appears that we've got like 2 other dudes who are the massive, lengthy, huge humans, right? Who have relatively good speed and some of that stuff. And you're talking about guys who are definitely not household names.
Yeah.
None of these guys are massive names.
It's a different
Cooper
league.
DeJean is probably the only one, and he's with the Eagles, right? We've talked about him because he's kind of the corner safety hybrid.
Yeah.
A little like larger old Thomasy looking, and some of the measurables to kind of back it up. And he's down at 18 overall. So it is what it is. It's hard to compare it to the era gone by because they're not the same, right?
No.
The elite ones.
Well,
None
the
of
league
these
is
top
just different.
names have the same impact.
No, it's a different
As
league.
they did.
The rules are different. I mean, it's literally different. It's just weird because, again, where would Spoon have fit in the Legion of Boom? Like, where would he have been on the
it's not
tier,
even close.
right? And he's not Earl Thomas. He's not Kim Chancellor. He's not Richard Sherman. To me, he's more in the CB2 range of that, like the Brandon Browner, or who was the guy after Brandon Browner? I'm blanking. Malcolm
Butler?
No, that's a Patriots guy. I can't remember his name right now. It's blanking. But anyways, he would have been like a CB2 on those teams, or like a nickel dude, because he's just It's just still weird because he's not the big body.
No.
Like, again, what we saw when he was matched up one-on-one with Marvin Harrison. Like,
Yeah.
Harrison's not had a great year and has generally underperformed, and Harrison just glazed him. So
It is interesting, though, that looking at these top 10 bodies, right, of the top 6, 3 of them are 5'11" or smaller, like shorter. Those same 3 are all like 193 to 180. Like, they're just not huge dudes. And of the top 10 corners, according to PFF, he is tied essentially to be the youngest.
yeah, I mean,
So,
he's still
like-
young. Yeah.
Young, great, small, but that just means he's not the traditional outside corner.
Yeah. So, again, very good player, but not insanely good elite. So I guess what I would say is compare these 2 players real quick, because they were in the same draft class in the same round. JSN and Spoon.
And JSN's had much more visible impact and it's a much bigger household name.
JSN is if you don't want to say he's the top wide receiver in the league right now, he's top 3.
Yes.
You
He's easily
cannot
top
go
3.
off that based on any number. Like,
Correct.
it's literally, and
It's
even
him.
beyond 1 is still kind of silly in my opinion. He's just the best year. This year he
Yes.
is the best, period.
That's not a
And
fair expectation for anyone.
It's not a fair expectation, but I don't know. It's interesting to
cool.
see those 2 different, you look at it, because JSN is now doing stuff that only a handful of people in the league have ever done.
Yes.
Think of Cal Raleigh, right? Where he's just having this season that we're like, yeah, we like this player. I think we could talk about it in the same way.
Yeah.
We like this player. He's a core player to the team, right? He's a leader in the team on a young team, etc. And then Cal Raleigh goes out and has the best season that a catcher has ever had and gets robbed of the MVP, right? And then you go to JSN, what's happening right now. When he gets to the end of the year, he probably won't win the MVP. He probably won't win a ton of awards that he should win simply because he plays in Seattle. But same kind of argument, and I don't know what comp you'd put for Spoon for the Seattle Mariners. He's a core part of the team. He was drafted high. He's a leader-ish on the team. I don't know how I'd feel about that statement.
The team believes he is.
Yes.
The fans don't. And I think it's hard to convince us from the outside.
I think he's
Because he's not as much a leader as Big Cat or Jared Reed
Ernest Jones.
or Ernest Jones.
Because I'm going back to when he was mouthing off, I think against the Rams, and Ernest Jones like grabbed him and like moved him. He was like, "Get out!" So it's like he has his uses and he gets the team going and all that, but it's like he's
more a juice guy than a leader.
he's
Yeah,
a
that's
juice
totally
guy.
true.
He's a dog, but you look at Ernest Jones as being, I would say, the leader on defense. He's the middle linebacker who's running the defense, who Mike McDonald personally picked to come in, and then they paid.
Yeah, is he a little bit like a young Geno Suarez for the Mariners, if you want to use that comp? Like a little bit of the fun juice, big energy
Spoon?
dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is a little bit of the
Yeah,
like
he has a
he's got
role.
these excellent moments, but he's just not an elite player because despite having really good defense and really good pop,
Yeah,
it just misses on some other stuff.
yeah.
Right? He doesn't have some of these other tools
Yes,
in his
and he
tool
probably
bag.
just
And
won't.
That's fine.
He's a good player.
You want him.
Shouldn't have been drafted where he was, but also maybe a bad draft.
Here's
class. I don't know.
I think the more relevant conversation still comes back to, and we've been having this for years, more relevant conversation comes back to which corners would you want?
Yeah,
Name me a corner who you really want more than Spoon today.
yeah, and again, there's dearth is the word.
Correct.
It's not what you'd expect, but
Because you could tell me, I'm gonna go off this. I'm gonna say you could tell me Jamel Dean, except he's 5 years older.
mm-hmm.
Do you want the 30-year-old or the not even 25-year-old?
Mm-hmm.
It's a conversation. Here's the guys who are around the same age. Would you want him or DJ Turner from the Bengals? We don't know anything about DJ Turner. We know nothing. Would you want him or Trent McDuffie? That's a fair conversation. That's a real conversation.
Yeah.
I think I probably would go Trent McDuffie.
Well, the next closest comp for him is Christian Gonzalez with the Patriots, who went like 16th in that same draft class.
Yeah,
and he was
he's had so many
basically
injury issues.
Exactly. He was
That's so
basically
hard.
out his first year. He's got a bigger frame. He's good. He's been a good player, but I wouldn't take him over Spoon.
Yeah, so
Like-
here's the Christian Gonzalez context from PFF. Reminder, he was 6'1", 205, and ran a 4.4 from
Yeah.
Oregon a couple years ago. He's played way more snaps than Spoon this year. He is younger by a year and a half.
More of an outside traditional corner.
More of an outside traditional
Which
corner.
is probably why
and
he
is
plays more
graded
snaps.
down near the 50s.
Yeah.
Of
On a
corners.
good Patriots team.
On a really good Patriots team.
So
So that's a real conversation. I actually think the fairest conversation for him, 1-to-1, is to say the Trent McDuffie one, because here's your alignment. Witherspoon is 24.9. McDuffie is 25.2. So there are a few months difference, but nothing real.
it's fine. Yeah.
They're both 5'11".
Yep.
Witherspoon's listed at 185.
Mm-hmm.
McDuffie's listed at 193.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's a little different. McDuffie's played twice the number of snaps,
Yeah.
and is currently listed as a top 6 PFF corner.
Yeah.
So it's probably a push at that point.
Yep.
Like, take your system guy
Yep.
and run him.
Yep.
And yes, I have a connection to McDuffie because of the Washington UW background,
Right.
but still, like, you have a little more track record. You got a little more something.
Yep.
I could see myself taking McDuffie, but that's it.
He's easier to cheer for.
He is,
that, like-
but it's still like, would you take Sauce Gardner today?
Yes.
I think we would
Yes.
because of what he can be, but not because of what he is.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah. I mean, I think he's a better athlete. Spoon is maybe better in like the 3-cone and they're different athletes, they're different players. But again, this team would just really benefit from having that like true block down CB1. And maybe it's just not, that's the way defenses have changed in 10 plus years.
So
right?
that's
just
it's really like, would you take Sauce or him, and you're talking it through and you're saying in concept it's clearly Sauce,
Yep.
but in practice it's hard to say.
Yeah. I think as fans also, there's just, I don't know. Spoon's fine. Like, winning solves everything, right? So just win and he can say whatever he wants. I don't really care. But there's just so many other defenders who I jump to first as preferring or liking more than Spoon. So I don't know.
Well, and this is where I think I'm still trying to drive the conversation less to in a draft should you take corners high.
Mm-hmm.
Totally, we agree on that. I'm trying to drive it more to do we appreciate him enough for what he is?
Mm-hmm.
Can
Probably
we
not.
critique the draft strategy? Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, and
Yeah.
the value.
Yeah.
Those things are true. Do we appreciate Spoon for being a corner who doesn't really make any mistakes except when he's aligned as the true press outside corner lined up against Marvin Harrison Jr. with 3 or 4 inches on him?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the only situation where he's clearly outmatched?
Yeah.
Right? And that kind of is.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen him put hits on tight ends. He can't necessarily drag all tight ends down by himself, but he can. He's physical.
Yeah.
He's a
I mean,
missile.
that's the biggest thing he brings to the table, I would say, is his physicality.
Yep.
It's his speed and his physicality. Like, he does do those things really good.
Yeah.
And I just mentally consider him a second-round pick, and then I feel a lot better. Because to me, the leaders on this defense, I would say there's 3 that are really clearly the leaders, in my opinion. I would say Julian Love is the DB leader of those guys. He signed the contract, the long-term contract, right? So he's here for a couple of years, so he got paid. Yeah, he's been injured this year. Very frustrating, right? But he's the guy where I don't know if his ceiling is necessarily as high as Spoon's, but he is like really consistent and steady. Like, so Spoon is the DBs. Ernest Jones is the leader of like the defense period, kind of my opinion, but it's also a D-line heavy group. And I would say Reed is the leader of the D-line. So when I look at the top 3, what I would say top 3 leaders of this defense, I would put Love. I'd put Ernest Jones at the top, and then right below them I'd put Julian Love, and I'd put Jaron Reed, because Jaron Reed played on the LOB, and he's got the dog, and he's the older, crusty vet. I mean, Big Cat is there, I think Murphy's getting there, right? But he's still got a couple guys older than him. Nosa's kind of the older vet.
Emanwari will eventually become something.
Right,
Clearly.
so you have other people that are we're literally developing, but
Well, and this is-
where
this
does
is the-
Spoon fall in that? Again, I think the Mariners, the Suarez comp, that kind of like, yeah, he has a role. He's a role player, and the stuff he does really good, he does really good.
Well, and we do miss him.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
well, yeah, there's a
when
drop
he's
off
not
when he's
there.
correct.
he's better than most, if not all, of the actual alternatives we could put in there.
Yeah, he doesn't have the physical skills as Woolen, and he's a better corner than Woolen, which is weird to say.
Well, and the funny thing is, it's less about the skills in that regard. It's more about the inherent attributes. Right? He's not as fast as him.
He's not
gifted.
6'4",
And he's not
runs a
6'4".
4.28,
Right.
just the fastest, tallest corner in the league. Yeah, he's not that guy. So,
And that's hard. I think the more interesting portion of that ongoing conversation is just the fact that there's just not that many.
yeah,
They just, where are they? Why are they not around?
Yep.
Reek Woolen is still graded as the 78th overall corner out of 110 who have received grades so far.
and
from
he's been
BFF.
inconsistent, bad, benched, better.
Now, to be clear, this year's grades have been a significant drop off from the last 3, and the last 3 weren't elite grades for Woolen from this side.
And I've asked this question on the pod before, and I'll go back to it again now that we're in week 13, about to be week 13. So the two guys who you have to make decisions this offseason, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you re-signing them? I think you know who they are. It's Woolen. So are you re-signing Woolen? Yes or no? And are you re-signing K9? Yes or no? So start with Woolen.
Yeah.
Are you re-signing Woolen? Yes or no? Let's each go. You go first, and I'll tell you my opinion. Is Mike McDonald, who's in charge of this
I'm
team,
looking at the weekly defense grades for Woolen.
is he someone who fits in Mike's scheme, who Mike likes, and is like, yep, that's a guy I want to pay 12, 13, 14, 15 million a year, whatever it is? John Schneider.
I think that's a risk they're not going to take.
Correct. I agree. and that's something they've shown. If they're not the top guy, right, like a really good player, and Love is wherever he falls on that rank is a top safety in this league, right? Maybe he's the 10th best safety, but he's
when
still
when he plays consistently,
he's really
his
good.
Game, he's really good.
He's a culture fit, all those things. He's a dog, I think. Wow, why can it not remember that corner who played after Brandon Browner? I'm going to have to look that up. That's driving me crazy. It's not Malcolm Butler.
But the
point being that we've let those guys go.
Yes.
Right? So Brownery went, and then whatever his name is, we also went, and then he came back and signed with us later. Woolen is another example of that. Here's a guy who's pretty good. He's going to make money in the market.
There was also Byron Maxwell.
That's exactly what I'm thinking of. It's Byron Maxwell, right? So that they've shown, unless you are a top dude, they let you walk, right?
Yeah.
So Woolen is...
Someone will also pay Woolen, and I
someone's
think
gonna pay Woolen.
Schneider is no longer going to be dipping into the first wave or even really huge second wave free agency necessarily.
If Woolen's a Pro Bowl player, like Love has been, he's getting signed.
Yeah.
He's not, so he's not getting signed, and he's going to get overpaid by the Oakland Raiders, by the Browns, by the Jags, by the Jets.
The Las Vegas Oakland Raiders.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those
No,
guys.
I hear you. I think that's totally fair. And what was your other one?
K9. So K9 has had
my
inconsistent.
Opinion. My opinion is going to continue to be no.
Yeah.
I can't possibly walk away from that going, the wisest thing to do is to sign K9 to a deal when we've seen the other running backs be good, not great, but good, and a little more consistent on certain things. Again, please stop doing toss outside option stuff to Charbonnet, but like, he's good up the middle. Hammer. Anyways.
Okay, so that one I'm really torn on. I don't have a strong answer. I also don't want to pay a running back.
Correct.
And James Cook is the one that comes to mind, right?
Yeah.
Total value up to 48, which doesn't mean actually anything.
No.
30 guaranteed. People generally agree that they think he was overpaid. So I'm not saying K9 gets paid like that. He probably doesn't based on his injury history, right?
Yep.
If I were a betting man, I would say I think K9's market is a lot softer than he thinks it'll be because he's never consistently been healthy. He was not a first-round pick, right? And the injuries is a big deal for someone going out and paying a running back when they're so cheap these days. If I'm a betting man, I'm saying he does come back to the Seahawks on a 2-year deal with options for a third on a more team-friendly deal. It's still going to be more money than you want to pay a running back or I want to pay a running back, right? But there's going to be
James Cook's 4
somewhere.
for 48 thing wasn't extravagant when we initially saw it. And we know that this year, here's Spotrack's current breakdown, Spotrack, whatever. His age 26 season, he's being paid $3.5 million. That's his cap hit. Next year, it's 5.9, essentially. Year after is age 28 season, it's 13 mil. Year after age 29, 13.5 mil. Year after age 30 season, 14.3 mil. Now, of those, though, the big cap hit numbers also come when his dead cap drops so much that they could cut him. Or trade him. So, like, his dead cap, if they cut him 2 years into this contract, right, he's heading into his age 28 season. He's about to have a $13 million cap hit. They could cut him and have a $5 million dead cap. Like, it's very possible.
It's very possible.
That, like, yeah.
K9 just turned 25 also, so he's not old.
Or they redo the deal again and push the money out again.
Yeah.
And he gets a nice little signing bonus, but he's not going to get $13 million a year. You know, really.
So I think the tough thing, again, we're looking at it, I think, more from a vacuum from do we pay running backs ever, yes or no, from a Madden perspective. But I look at it from the lens of Mike McDonald and from John Schneider and how they are approaching and how GMs in the league approach it, right? And I just go, the way they talk about K9 is very highly. I think Mike really likes him as a player. They're starting to give him the ball more. Like his year could go one of two ways. But if he keeps on this pace, it will be one of his better seasons, right? With one of the better functioning offenses in the NFL. He still is a young guy at 25. So you get him a 3-year deal total, right? Where it's more of like a year-to-year actual thing with some incentives and, funky stuff in there that's team friendly, like you kind of talked about the, James Cook. And I'm like, yeah, he'll be 28. That by the time he would need another contract. And John's
so unless he has like a game losing moment,
injury.
or another injury,
I think is what does it.
Then you're right. Could he come back? Is it likely that he comes back on a short team friendly deal? I think it's. I think it's possible. Mm-hmm. Is he a true free agent at the end of this year?
Yeah, because he was drafted in the second round, so there isn't this is his 4th year playing.
Yeah.
So there's no contract where it's not the first year deal, right, where you can add a 5th year. That's not a thing. That's the one that. So
you're right. He's a
true free
unrestricted free agent. So given that, he is PFF's second ranked running back in the league. What does that mean? That compiles other grades. So he's the second ranked runner, elite graded.
Yeah.
Rusher in the league. Receiving is not quite the same. 72.7 puts him at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, about 15th in the league for receiving grade.
So a top half of the league.
Yeah. For comparison's sake, Charbonnet is 14th in the league.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah.
That puts him at 70.7 is right about 14th in the league with rushing grade.
Yeah.
He's the 14th graded. So again, the difference between the second graded and the 14th graded running backs in the league, right, currently.
Yeah.
It's a difference. They're saying Charbonnet is not nearly the same receiver currently.
Huh.
Though Kenneth Walker is not the elite receiver. Right, he's not Christian McCaffrey, Bijan Robinson, or Jahmyr Gibbs. Those are your 3 elite receiving running backs currently.
And are all elite first-round running backs.
Correct. And the next tier down is also still like either specialized or elite. Josh Jacobs, who we commonly recognize as not quite elite, but borderline
really,
there.
Really good.
Dylan Sampson is the pass-catching specialist in Cleveland, and Cam Scattaboo, who, when he was playing, was just so fun.
Yeah.
So he's only graded below Jonathan Taylor in running the ball. He's not in the elite or great category, but he's fine. He's good. Above acceptable for receiving, according to this. Pass blocking, 33.4, puts him at, unfortunately, not nearly as good as Zach Charbonnet, and Zach Charbonnet is not nearly as good as your actual pass blocking backs. Again, none of these top pass blocking backs are your elites besides Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry.
I just think of like John Schneider and looking through how they talked about DK Metcalf, right? Where we didn't want to trade him, we didn't want to pay him what he got paid, but we also, I think they were planning on paying him slightly less than he got paid, so a lot of money, right?
Yep.
And there's no argument you can make from just a roster perspective that the Seahawks are better without DK Metcalf. I do not buy that. Like, he's better than
Can I
Cooper
make
Kupp.
an off-field argument?
No. Just from an on-field production standpoint. I'm bringing that up only as we look at K9 from his production standpoint. Now, would we say K9 has always used the best in our offense? No. Would we say K9 has the best vision? No. Like there's a lot of things you knock him for, right? But when you just look at, are the Seahawks better when K9 is on the roster or when he's not on the roster? I don't think there's any argument you can say we're better when he's off the roster. Are we better as a team maybe moving forward, like allocating the cap towards a guard or, like different ways that you could build the team that we might be better?
So if you're saying, okay, let's
but just from
it.
a top 53 players, right, on your team, if you add DK Metcalf, that makes the team better. DK Metcalf on the field is better than Jake Bobo on the field, is what I'm saying, basically.
Yeah.
K9 on the field is better than... Who's the Seahawks running back who just went to the IR?
Holani?
Holani.
I don't think he went to IR yet. I think he's just out, but maybe...
Well,
could, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we had one other running back.
Kenny
go to IR.
McIntosh is
Yeah.
on IR. But
Okay, so for the sake of devil's advocate, my question to you would be not the Metcalf one, because I think that's an actual one, but K9's pass blocking specifically is notably lower than your other guy. So on field, one job of the running back, right, is the pass blocking thing. So does that play at all, right? The fact that he's let's double check. The fact that he is well outside your top anything that you would want for a running back in pass blocking. Does that matter? Because that is on the field stuff. It's not running.
It does matter. I would say the caveat is you know that about him, and so that's like not his strength. So is he typically on the field on third downs?
So So if
he's
like Derrick
not,
Henry was a
so-
terrible pass blocker, you would still run the ball with Derrick Henry because he's Derrick Henry, and so you should run the ball with Derrick Henry.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, I hear that one.
That's like you
the DK
hand the ball
Metcalf
to
one is
Marshawn
really hard
Lynch.
because when you're saying that, I'm immediately thinking everything except catching the ball. No. He is not the same level of route runner that even Jake Bobo is, which is hilarious.
Okay.
He is not the same level of blocker, despite having the physical tools to do so.
He was a good blocker.
He was not ever graded as well in blocking
Really?
as any of the others, including Tyler Lockett, on his pass blocking or run blocking skills. Now, could he bowl guys
kind of
over
would-
in the secondary?
Yeah. I would kind of push back on that
wild
one.
low effort. Like
Effort,
wildly
yes.
low effort. And again, that is not talking about his physical skill set.
Right,
Is he
yes.
better at run blocking?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
because he doesn't try.
Yeah.
Right? And this is my Jimmy Graham thing that is endless, right? It's that idea of like, I don't want to watch him.
Yeah.
I have no desire to watch him. None. Don't want to see that.
Yeah.
That is you technically have all the capability. Your body is the right size.
Yeah.
You all have the right strength.
You're 6'3" or 4" and you weigh 235 pounds, and
There's no reason you shouldn't be
you
able to
bench press
destroy
more
dudes.
than any wide receiver.
And then
in
the
league.
third element is, what are you supposed to be good at? Be good at that, right?
Yeah, catching the
We
ball.
have a friend who's constantly saying like, when you hire the defensive head coach, you better fix the defense,
Right. Yeah.
right? Like that's his big calling card is by the second half of the season,
Yeah.
you should fix your side of the ball.
Yeah.
You're responsible as a head coach even for your side of the ball. If you don't do that by the second half of your first season and don't show the improvement, then you are not going to work out long term, and
Right.
that's the end. And so if you were to translate that to players, I would look at Metcalf and say, oh, you should be a contested catch god.
Oh, from his size.
Physicality, like knock some dude over, grab the ball out of his hands.
Yeah.
This is mine. Thanks. Moving on.
Yeah.
But you know, like
Yeah.
of the guys, and I won't necessarily use anything except for PFF things again to back up whatever we're talking about.
Yeah.
But for the sake of the argument, because DK Metcalf does have to do with the Seahawks still somehow in some regards, because we're still seeing the effect and still wondering, like,
Yeah.
was that the right move? Not necessarily today, but in concept.
Yeah.
He is currently rated as the 42nd wide receiver
Yep.
in the league by PFF. That is below rookie Jalen Noel for the Houston Texans. Let's go closer to the same number of snaps. Parker Washington for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jameson Williams
Okay. Know him.
for Lions. Below Lad McConkey, Malik Neighbors, et cetera, who hasn't really played a ton. And below guys like Ryan Florney
Yeah.
for the Cowboys.
Yeah. Don't know who that is.
Right. That's my point. So
It's
complete average grade on the receiving portions, right? It's that kind of every time we say, well, he's better, your team is better with him. Would I rather have him on the team than Jake Bobo? Yes, in a vacuum.
yes.
Would I rather have him on the team at the price point that he is? No.
No.
Would I rather have
that-
him on the team in this specific scheme when he is not the one?
Yeah.
He cannot be the two. If Kupp is healthy, Kupp will be the two.
Yeah.
And your second wide receiver is what? A distraction.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Would his personality allow you to do that? Hey,
But-
you're the distraction.
Again, I still say there's a lot of extra stuff that goes with that from emotional fan perspective of like, yeah, he drives us crazy with his penalties and effort and dropping the ball without the hands.
Those are all factors you have to consider into whether you would have a guy in a vacuum.
Yeah. I still say there's, again, going back to the conversation with John Schneider and talking about that is, yeah, we wanted to pay him, just not at what he wanted to make, right? And we don't gain by losing him. There's things you do gain by losing him, but from the team perspective, he still believed. And I still say, okay, again, if he's wide receiver 3, who's our wide receiver 3 currently?
Rashid Shaheed. Yep.
So that dude, right?
Yeah.
Is he better than that dude who's a kind of a gimmick
At what?
speed guy?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, because that's again the at what question.
Well, yeah, as he's wide receiver 3 at that point. So
Yeah.
wide receiver 3 does all the wide receiver 3 things you need to do, which is a lot of blocking and being, the third or fourth or fifth check down option for your quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the question, though, of like, it's hard to, if you want to look at strengths, his strengths are bigger than anyone else's in concept, should be, but in practice, a lot of times they weren't. And by in practice, I mean in games.
Yeah.
On the field, they weren't always the strength you thought they should be, even though defenses had to respect him, and that was a big part of it.
Yes.
You couldn't use him
Yeah.
in the ways you wanted to use him, and that was just like, then what's the point? If they're not going to double cover him because he can't actually do the contested catch thing, and he can't really, like, technically he could break off at any time, but we're not using him for those slant, like, yeah, I'd rather have him than Rashid Shaheed in a vacuum.
I was gonna say it's
But
interesting
it's hard.
because, and I don't know, I don't love Cooper Kupp at this point of his career. I've been pretty clear about that. There's at times this season where he's looked pretty bad, and I think he's definitely in the twilight of his career. And there's a reason the Rams cut him, right?
Mm-hmm.
That being said, he's a role player in this offense, so I don't know if that really matters. Where does Rashid Shaheed then rank as far as DK Metcalf? Because it's a different offense, no question. But when you lost DK Metcalf, you lost a lot of speed and physicality, regardless of effort, who the physical player was, 6'4",
So
235.
I do want to pause really fast and say that Cooper Kupp is currently the what out of 126 graded wide receivers on PFF site.
Cooper Kupp? Is he top 50?
He is.
Is he top 40?
Yep.
35?
Keep going.
25?
25.
25.
Same as T. Higgins.
Yeah.
Because of what grades? Receiving and run blocking.
Yeah.
It's you aren't fast, but when we throw you the ball,
You got to do something
with a couple of exceptions,
Yeah.
you're reliable. You
Yeah.
do what you're supposed to do. And when we run the ball, you succeed
Yeah.
at your assignment.
Yeah.
That would be measuring less explosive run rate, right? If you're doing the running back comparison, right?
Yeah.
Charbonnet versus K9 would be fascinating to go back to after every game and go like explosive run rate. K9 should always succeed at that,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
But success rate, did you gain 1 yard when you needed to gain 1 yard? Did you convert the third down when you need to convert the third down?
But like
Is a
Tyler
different
Lockett.
question.
Like here's a
Right.
player who just falls down and he catches the
Yeah.
ball.
He does what he does.
He doesn't add a lot to the team at this point, but when you really need someone, that's the guy you kind of go
He can
to.
get open. He can get you the ball and get down,
Yeah.
and you can move on.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think, I think Cooper Kupp is limited. Even if he's ranked 35, that's surprising.
25.
25.
So again, for context, he is one spot lower than T. Higgins, one spot higher than A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
While DK Metcalf is one spot lower than Jalen Knoll and one spot higher than Debo
Right.
Samuel and Torrey Horton,
Yeah.
who is the same range in the same spot as he is.
Well, so
With
okay.
a literally 30-point, 25-point higher run blocking grade.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I just think Metcalf is intimidating, is everything, the body, the year one, the explosives, the 1 year he had 1,300 yards. Like,
Yep.
he has done so much. He has so much potential, and so much of his potential stays potential.
Yeah, he never lived up to it. I mean, he was the second and literally the last pick of the second round, and also the closest body to Calvin Johnson we've
Yes.
seen.
He's
So
incredible.
It's a weird combo. The question I have is, we paid quite a bit, in my opinion, an overprice, and the Saints even came out and said this. Yeah, we turned it into a bidding war.
Mhm.
A fourth and a fifth
Mhm.
for Rashid
Rashid Shaheed.
Rashid
Yep.
Shaheed. It's a tongue twister. We do not have good draft capital now in this year.
Right. But I think that's because, have you followed the draft stuff this year?
I still hate the concept. I still hate it. The worst year John Schneider had was when he had 3 picks, and it was the same thing. This is the bad draft. No. No. Every year there's good players, and you find a way if you're a GM to draft. Give me more darts.
I don't think
Don't
that's
say
true.
there's
I don't think that's
3.
true. I think there are years like 2014 where no one in the first round outside of like 2 dudes hit. Like none.
That's
and
a
this is being
hard
considered
outlier.
a year worse than that.
Yeah.
So let's go with this. There are some good talents in the first round.
Yeah,
And there's
okay.
some deep
pick
low-level
number 5 is the
starters.
same as pick 20 or whatever.
And there's some
you
deep
know.
low-level starters through the top 100. And then it goes to like, maybe he makes the roster.
Yeah.
If you're going 2, maybe he makes the rosters. Guys, like in this draft, because this is the tail end. This is the last draft that's going to be impacted by any of the COVID stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And this is the guys who were in school for 6 years.
Yeah.
Right? If they started out or did something ridiculous or 7
Yeah.
years or whatever they were extending, like if that's their reputation, and I'm not saying it's that bad. I'm saying that currently it's been considered that bad
it's
because I
talked about
keep
that, yes.
listening to all the draft stuff.
Yes,
It's
it is.
like if it's as bad as 2014 or worse, then there's not really a chance, man. There's just not that many dudes.
I mean, go back to the value of drafting a nickel corner at 5 overall. You gave a 4th and a 5th round pick for a wide receiver who's 27, who is essentially in your offense, what he will function is no more than a wide receiver 3. You drafted Horton, who's looked like a stud, so he's really a wide receiver 4. You drafted a tight end higher than him, right? And you've got 2 tight ends you're playing. So where does he fit in this offense? He is the gimmick player John Schneider drafted round 2.
Well, he's the Horton replacement for the rest of this year.
So you spent a 4 and a 5 for a wide receiver
3,
3 for
which should work.
how many games?
Well, again, if they don't sign him, this is going to be a different conversation. Or if they don't sign him, he goes off and signs a big contract somewhere else and you recoup a third.
He
Cool.
won't.
I'm not saying who will. There's ways it works out. There's ways it doesn't. Right? Like, that's really what I mean.
Yeah, it's tough to me when John gives a 4 and a 5 when he does this stuff consistently mid-year when the value is at its absolute worst. Like, what do you need to get a wide receiver at this point of the year? You have to overpay, and
So
you can say with Big Cat it worked out. He gave a lot to get, but Big Cat's also
But it
really
worked
good. But he does this consistently where he trades for a player before they have a contract and then has to double down, and he both gives up more than he probably should for that player if he just traded at a non-trade deadline, and then pays also more simply because you have to, unless you are literally just paying them for 5,
So
6
you're really
games.
just saying, like, in a vacuum, don't pay a 4 and a 5 for a wide receiver 3.
Correct.
Right? That's really what you're
Wide
getting
receiver
at.
3 for 7
Well,
games.
I would say
Because it's not that is in the vacuum because it's how many games are you trading for him? It's only a 1 year deal. It's not even a full year. It's half a season. You traded a 4 and a 5 for half a season. You have a 5th round pick as your starting center. Like that 4 and 5 pick still has value. Your starting guard is a 6th round pick. So it's hard for me to say those picks are nothing, even if it is a down year, that you can't take a shot on someone who's,
I don't really care about the taking a shot on guys in bad years. Because a lot of that criticism that I think is rightly leveraged towards the Seahawks org for that bad draft with 3 dudes, because we were all out on the guys they drafted that year anyways, right? Like we didn't have high opinions
Creed
of them at
Humphrey
that time.
was sitting right there, and we took a gimmick 5'9" wide receiver.
But specifically, that was one of the years where Pete was drafting.
Yeah.
Right. My view is that was a Pete Carroll draft, not a John Schneider draft. The capital they walked in with was Schneider's potential fault.
Yeah.
But that was not John Schneider. That was Pete Carroll making the calls. So, like, I don't...
I guess what I would say...
Like, I do think John Schneider's weakness, we've all identified. He doesn't draft O-line super well. He doesn't have a track record of that.
Nope.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that he was drafting all the bad O-line. Jermaine Ifedi was not necessarily his pick either, right? Like,
totally
that was
fair.
a Pete
Totally fair.
pick, potentially, right? So how much do you attribute? I don't know yet.
Yep.
Right? I'm not going to really know that
Yep.
until we see what he does with this regime more than a couple of years in.
I'm looking up Rashid Shaheed just because I've literally never heard of him before this year.
Really? I followed him on the Saints for a couple of years there.
So he
awesome.
was an undrafted player.
Yeah.
So he was not drafted, so no high draft capital there. He's only played in the league since 2022, right?
Yeah.
And his best season was a first-team All-Pro punt returner in 2023, right?
Which is supposedly in this current day and age the value you want, right?
So
you want that thing.
The comp I'll bring it up is if he's a wide receiver 3, I think it's horrendous value. I do. I think you drafted Horton in the 5th round, who's played as a wide receiver 3, an excellent wide receiver 3. There's your guy. You don't need to give up your future starting center and future starting right guard for a wide receiver 3. If he is Leon Washington, then it's a home run hit, right? So if he is consistently, because he's only getting paid $5.2 million this year, so he's not making a lot because he hasn't done a lot. He's been in the league for 3 years.
This is his 4th. Yep.
Yep, and his special teams is his thing, really. Now I know last year he was with Kubiak, right? He was going off before that got derailed. So I get it. There's potential there, and so maybe you're paying on that potential of Kubiak going, nope, this is the wide receiver 3 gimmick guy, all pro, like return dude. Like we need this guy on our team. So there's an argument to be made that he's that, but no, nothing about giving up a 4 and a 5 for a gimmick wide receiver gets me really excited.
I expect all day 3 picks to not be starters, right? Like walk in with that expectation that there are no starters in rounds 4 through 7.
Unless you're John Schneider, who believes that anyone can play the old lineman. Or was that Pete Carroll? I guess is the flip side.
That's my point. Is like right now I believe that was Pete Carroll until proved otherwise, right?
Until he drafts a center round
until
1.
He drafts someone
next year,
else.
And we are just like, John Snyder's a king.
Yeah.
How crazy would you go if we drafted a center, just
goodness.
the best center?
Don't get
round
me started. 2026 NFL draft. I hate doing this early, but this is the first time I'm pulling this up. So everyone, you're experiencing this with me right now.
And I'm looking at Leon Washington's history because I wanted to see what he did. He was a running back, kick returner, drafted in the 4th round in 2006. He played with the Jets for 3 years, and then he played with us for 3 years. He was a Pro Bowl in 2012, first team All-Pro in 2008, second team All-Pro in 2010. So actually, I think that is a decent comp.
There you go.
Right?
Look at him starting to become a little more optimistic.
Holds the Seahawks franchise record for most career kickoff returns with 4. And Leon Washington, I can tell you, in 2010, single-handedly won a game for us. I mean, he had 2, maybe 3 returned. in one game.
All right, so I'm pulling up the mock draft simulator on PFF. Again, I don't actually subscribe to every single thing that PFF does. I'm just using it because it's actually one of the few formal ones that I have.
PFF, you can sponsor us, and so can McAllen.
PFF and McAllen. Let's go. Single malt scotch. You want to do some of that Islay pour here soon?
Yes.
Chaos. It's a non-age statement one, but it's pretty sick.
Sorry, I'm still looking at Ian Washington's. Yep, I remember it against the San Diego Chargers. Single-handedly provided a majority of the Seahawks scoring. Yes, 101 kickoff, and then the fourth quarter he did it again.
That's
wow,
awesome.
99 yards, so 200 yards on 2 plays.
Yeah,
that's Madden.
That'll do, pig. That'll do. All right, I want to read you a couple of things while you're getting the pours on. Step 1. I'm looking at interior O-line in this upcoming draft. Outside of, we're going to assume we're not drafting in the top 15 or 20. Sound good? Nope. Okay. We are not drafting in the top 15 or 20. Everyone's on the same page with that. There is one guard that went in this mock in the top 21. He went to the Bills. He is from Penn State. I will not attempt to pronounce names. Starts with an O. Second name starts with an I. 6'4", 328, redshirt junior with elite grades or great grades in every category. And this is a non-age statement Islay single malt scotch. This is the Kirkland signature.
Kirkland signature. So, they do the typical thing. They have the lowest markup for a name brand, and they buy out supplies of stuff. And so we don't know what name originally was on this bottle and or how many years it was, but it is, if you had Lagavulin 16, right? This is a Lagavulin 16 light. So it's probably, I would say, 85% of Lagavulin 16.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
It's better than Lagavulin 8. It's better than Lagavulin 11. We love Lagavulin. Please sponsor us. But this is cheaper.
It is what I would expect out of a log 14. Like just a couple years off.
Yeah.
You have 2 years off. I'd call it that.
Yeah, it's excellent. So.
All right. So here's your options, and these are actually legitimately good options in your second round.
Okay.
Here's a guard from Oregon at 6'5", 318.
As a center option or as
a guard. Elite grades across the board.
Yep.
Redshirt senior, though, so that does give you one total thing, right? We want the early declares, not necessarily all the time. It just means that they're so talented that they couldn't stay.
Yeah, like Drake London.
Yeah, like Drake London. Jake Slaughter, the center for Florida, 6'4", 303. Great grades across the board.
Okay.
To elite. I'm going to just pop through these and see if there's anyone who fits a specific.
Well, and I know we're talking early about it. I just think of Gray Zabel, he would not have been the conversation. I mean, he's a good player, but the Senior Bowl happened, right? And people are like,
now he had, again, great grades, though.
Right.
There's something. These grades are like the run blocking grade, zone grade, true pass blocking grades.
Yeah.
Pass block grades and gap grades. So these are like subsets of the grade. So when I say grades across the board, what I'm looking for is 80th or 90th percentile and above.
Yep.
In 5
out
of 5 areas.
That's something. It's not nothing.
So DJ
regardless
Campbell,
of competition, it's still something, right?
Yeah, DJ Campbell from Texas guard is, let's say, 6'3", 321 senior. He is a run blocking guard.
That's so good.
That is so good. Georgia Tech guard, Kalen Rutledge. So this, I would assume, is the brother or sibling of Tate Rutledge.
Yes.
Nope. That was an A. This is a U.
It's different.
6'4", 330 guard.
It's the long lost cousin.
And a long lost cousin. He is he's good at everything. All right, so that's an elite option later on. Again, we don't know if there's athletic limitations. That's why some of these guys who have great grades will not succeed in the NFL, right? It's like that perfect O-line that we had with UW with Michael Penix. That was not hyper successful in the NFL, and it was because
It doesn't always translate.
It doesn't. Like you had a 5'11", 275 center. That's not going to translate.
Two things need to happen this offseason.
Logan Jones from Iowa.
Okay.
To wrap it up.
Okay.
6'3", 302, so a little small on the guard side. Probably needs to shift to center.
Yeah.
He's listed as a guard. He has actually played center. He is a center. He has elite grades across the board. He's played against the big competition because he's Iowa. He's played against Oregon, Penn State, and Iowa, Nebraska, and all the big guys, USC, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But point being, that is your last one with the top kind of outlook competition plus grades.
Okay.
He is currently projected at 176, which means he will definitely, if he has those good grades and actually has a good combine,
he'll move up.
and he's an undersized center. He's no bigger than Olu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He will move up.
Yep.
He could be easily drafted top 100.
Yeah.
And he is Olu. Would you like Olu?
No.
In the third.
No.
Okay. So
we already have Olu.
I think if we're hoping for anything more than a backup who maybe gets turned into something else.
No.
I'm not certain you're solving anything O-line beyond the third.
Beyond the third, yeah.
And even in the third, you're drafting Olu.
No, I don't like that at all.
So if in the third you can get Olu.
No.
Okay. So just tossing it out there is like, now let's put some faces to it.
Yeah. Two things need to happen.
Because Olu was literally like a collegiate champion of champions in so many regards.
Michigan.
He had so many awards.
I hate him. The Mariners need to sign a big free name agent, not currently on their roster. And then the Seahawks. So the two things that will heal the hearts. Sorry, the context. One, the Mariners go for it. They add to the ad. Like they got Naylor, and then they go even more. They trade for someone currently on a big contract. We're like, great. And the Seahawks drafting another interior O-lineman, round 1. And if he plays right guard or he plays center, I don't care. That's just what we need. Yep. And the world will be
all right.
better.
I'm going to show you the corners you can have.
Yeah, where do you want to go from here? I'm curious because we're running about an hour and a half right now.
All right. Let's wrap up then with here's the corners you could have as well for those 4th and 5th because we're really just talking about that value pick.
Okay.
We're saying you could have Olu for a third or worse than that in the 4th and 5th is the implication.
It's in this draft.
In this upcoming draft
yes.
specifically. You can have corners is the other kind of weak area we know about, stuff like that. You can have a 23-year-old 6'1", 189 corner with bad run defense and zone coverage grades, but good man coverage grades. You can have Xavier Scott, a cornerback who is 5'11", again the same size, which I assume you don't want.
Not particularly. I don't super
great
love
man
undersized
coverage.
corners, but
I think what you're asking for, though, is an outside corner.
correct.
Is there anyone who is the project look-alike of an outside corner? Is kind of the question.
It's
for a 4th or 5th round pick. Are you finding that?
Yeah, I think it's the known. We're not re-signing Woolen. You probably know at this point, right? You've already figured that out, whether you're signing him or not. So we're not re-signing Woolen. What are we doing at that position? Say what you want about Woolen, but you need to replace him in a different way where you didn't need to replace Metcalf because it's a different offense, right?
Okay.
You need an outside corner.
So 6 foot, 188, good zone coverage, mediocre at everything else?
Maybe.
A little light for outside corner, right? 6 foot is not any different than 5'11", and 188 is no different than 185.
Some people say 1 inch.
All right, then let's go to the Gamecocks, and we'll go to...
What was that?
What? South Carolina. And we'll go to a corner who is 6'1", 211. There's a better size, age 20.8. Good. Great run defense, great completion percentage, well below average in actual zone coverage, man coverage, and coverage grades overall. But, like, there's a project, right?
And there will be
That
someone
feels
round
something.
1. And if it's not round 1, round 2, right?
Yeah, I'm still hoping that they find something worth
Uh,
fixing on the
Getting a corner in
O-line.
round 2 would actually make me really happy. If you started the draft and you went interior, right, center or guard, we don't even just one of
Yeah.
those positions, and maybe
Yeah.
they don't even know. It's a guy who played guard who maybe translates to center, whatever.
We still have our first, second, and third, and double sixths.
Mm-hmm.
So we are still talking about like the ones that we know should make an impact. If they can find guys, if there are guys available, they're going to do that.
The argument
And
now,
the later ones are more like, okay, so of the lottery picks, he's really just saying this year isn't the year to play the lottery. The chances are too low. May as well find a dude.
well, and again, what I would go back to is if you just aren't trading at the last minute, what are they giving up to get Shaheed? And they're giving up a 4th-round pick, right? And the 5th-round pick came in when it was between them and the Steelers, right? And it was, hey, just so you know, there's another team. It's an AFC team. But if you want this guy, you have to throw in more. Otherwise, we're trading it to them. And John was like, yeah, we need him. Okay, give him the 5th. Like, that's what happened. And
I think this is where I look at that and I still say, in a year that's bad, in a year where you still have 1, 2, 3 and double six, that doesn't feel bad yet. Because winning team with one missing piece. Specifically, Torrey Horton and Cooper Kupp are both dealing with injuries. You need a guy who actually knows the system. And there's only so many dudes who played for this guy, like available on the trade market. Olave apparently wasn't one of them.
oh,
And if he was, you'd be paying way more than a 4th and a 5th.
of course.
And yet, Shaheed,
Would you do that
when
trade?
he was
1st-round pick for Olave? You got to pay him, too. And you do it before JSN, who you're going to also have to pay. You love Olave. And he knows the scheme. Or does that turn into a Chase Higgins situation where you're paying 2 wide receivers?
I love Olave, and I am not doing that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Both things are true.
Team
If
construction.
you told me it was
can't.
a 2nd-round pick, I'd probably end up doing it. But
I do it for a 1st, but the problem is the amount you're going to have to pay him, I don't think you can justify that. Like, you need Horton to be good. Let's
you
just say
need
that.
JSN or Olave.
Correct. You have a number 1, and everyone else you hope is good.
But in Kubiak's scheme, which he had played in literally like the previous season, he knew the system. You are in a winning season. You are in a competitive season. Your season is going great. Now you take the context of Kupp is hurt, Horton is hurt. Wow, that was a really good move at that specific time. If it turns out that you paid a 4th and a 5th in a season where you lost in the wild card round for this, that'll be really hard.
Well,
I think this is a little bit of like, for me, I will evaluate this move to some extent by number 1, does he resign? Number 2, if he leaves, what kind of contract does he get elsewhere?
So that's what I was about
and
to
number
get to.
3, how deep of a playoff run do you make? If you make a deep one, I'm going to forget all about this. Right? If you hit the NFC championship,
yeah.
he got you there. He was
Yeah.
part of the thing that got you there.
Yeah. I mean,
If
I
it's
guess that
more
would-
than 7 games, right? Like,
right. I do go to the contract. That's the exact next question I have. He made 5.2 this year, right? He's going to make more next year. He's going to. So are you comfortable paying him 2 years? You know, he's going to average $9 million a year.
his cap hit, to be clear, last year was 1.2 million and this year is 2.1 million. Because we are only paying a reduced portion of his 5.2.
Yeah.
But if you're saying his 5.2 because it was a 1-year extension, right, that they gave him based off the injury stuff. If you're saying it could be bigger, let's see, market value. Market value says
He's 27.
16.2 a year. So let's say it's the Cup contract, essentially.
Ooh.
Right. What if it's the Cup contract where it's really a 1-year deal? You can get out in the second, and you definitely will be out in the third.
Yeah, I don't like that either. He's 27.
Well, and again, visualize that as even if it's 3 years, 48 million,
Oof.
but the actual numbers are 8 million,
See, if it's
12 million, and then you cut them or you restructure.
even that though is, I mean, that's significant.
It is. It's the question of what else is happening on the roster, right? Who else is getting the extensions? We've seen Abe Lucas get the extension. Does Cross get the extension?
Cross gets the extension.
So Cross gets the extension this offseason.
The mega
We've
extension.
talked about K9.
K9 gets a small extension.
A small extension.
Yes.
Darnold, does he go, if things go well, does he come back to the table and say this 2-3 year thing that's really a 1-year thing? Let's turn it into something that's a commitment.
I think they start talking about it, but I'd be surprised if it happened after just 1 year.
Agree.
I think he probably needs 2.
So who's the next guy in line?
Oh, as far as who's getting paid money?
Like anyone else getting notable money?
Next year?
Yeah.
Jason and Spoon are not up yet. So they've already paid Ernest Jones. They've already paid Love. I mean, you got to pay some people.
It's Maffei or Hall, right?
Ooh. Yeah. I guess, so JSN is like a clear extend and just pay him, right? Mm-hmm. He's what the Lions did with Amon-Ra. If you are really paying Rashid that kind of money, the comp to me is a lesser, not as good version as Jameson. And I hated that contract with the Lions. Well, they paid the wide receiver who they took in the first round who was injured, right? But the Alabama star, and overpaid him as a speed X receiver on their team when their whole team is based around being physical and tough. So that to me would be really tough, where I go, he has a role in this, he has a clear role in this team. I think the only justification for him making that kind of money is if he is not only your wide receiver 3, right? He is the all-pro special teams guy.
So I want to do another kind of weird look at this because void years are a thing now in contracts, right?
Okay.
And we'll wrap up this discussion here with this kind of portion where we can go back and forth for like 1 minute. Jameson Williams this offseason signed a 3-year, $80 million extension. What's his cap hit next year? This year, next year, and the year after?
Does it say guaranteed? Because that's the real number.
Right. The cap hit is the number that matters for the actual team. The guaranteed money is spread out over so many void years.
To help with the cap.
The funny money,
right?
Just like the Eagles.
It's the hey, look, I signed my my big free agent to this giant contract because I'm an agent, but it doesn't actually matter.
Okay, what is his cap hit this year, next year, year after?
89.
3 years, $80 million.
80 million. Well, he's got to have a cap number in there somewhere. It's got to be count for 89 million. I mean,
$80 million.
80 million. What do I have? 89.
What is his cap hit this year, next year, and year after?
Fully guaranteed at signing 30 million. Total guaranteed 56. 66.
I'm looking at Spot Track right now. Take the guess.
7.4.
7.4 in year 1.
8.3
8.3 in year 2. 10.9 in year 3. Cap percentage. That's under 3%, and barely over 3%.
So it was 7.4 and then
7.4, 8.3, 10.9. And that's an $80 million contract. If I told you that Rashid Shaheed got a 3-year, $48 million contract, and his cap hits are $7 million, $9 million, and something, in the year 3, that doesn't matter
Mm-hmm.
because it's not going to happen, and there's not that much dead cap. It's a couple million of dead.
Mm-hmm.
If you really wanted to move on, you could easy. Like, I look at that and I think, if it works, if you get that extension, that doesn't inhibit you that much. And if that's the thing that inhibits you, the $7 million cap hit, or the year after the 9 or 10 or $11 million cap hit, I mean, what the heck are we doing here?
Yeah.
So, all right, let's start wrapping up. We've looked forward. We've talked about who's coming up. We've talked about contracts. We have looked at not just the opponents, but all the people.
Sorry, my last counter argument. Tony Horton. Want to know how much he's making? $1 million a year.
Nada. Yeah.
So that's the counter argument, is that you just drafted this guy who looks really good, and he could be your wide receiver 2 for nothing for 4 years.
And he could also be, breakable as a thin pencil.
Sure. He's 5th round is no guarantee.
But Cup is not going to be around for the full 3 years. He's going to make it through this year and possibly next, and then you'll move on, and you won't take that much cap hit. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we face the Falcons. Win or loss at this point? Let's do the quick review.
Kirk Cousins?
With Kirk Cousins.
That's a win.
At the Falcons. It's a win. Colts come here.
I almost say loss.
I think it's 60% we win, so I'm going to still say
we lost at home to Daniel Jones last year on a much worse Giants team.
Yeah, I don't think the defense was what it is now.
It's very true.
Rams come here.
It's a toss-up.
That is a total toss-up. I
feel
bad about it, but
it is both a toss-up and a must-win. You absolutely were, in my opinion, minus 4 interceptions, the better team when you played, and I think you have the deeper roster, but you still are not beating them consistently, and they're, you want to compete with them and compete with this division and be legitimate, you have to at least go 1-1 with your, at this point, is probably your biggest division rival. You have to win that game. If you go 0-2 to the Rams this year, I'm sorry, I don't see a deep playoff run.
Agree.
Like, you got to find a way to
win
win.
a wild card and you move on, but that's
it.
That's a have to win, but I just don't feel good about it yet.
I don't feel good about it either.
I don't know, brother. I don't know.
Gun to your head, what happens? Not what you want, what actually happens. Go back to last year. We had them on the ropes at home, right? We should have probably won that game, in my opinion. I was at that game. Matt Stafford throws a dagger in OT to win it. And then fast forward to this year, our team is deeper.
We lose by 2 on the backs of 4 interceptions.
4 interceptions.
It is a Thursday
and we
night
give up
game.
21 points.
It is a Thursday night game, and it is going to be nationally broadcast. I mean, talk about the pressure situation, right?
Division game, Thursday, weird game.
Must wins. It's going to get weird. Man, this is going to be tight. This is going to be within 2 points, like one way or another, 3 points within. I mean, it's just.
I'm just going to say Sam Darnold doesn't throw 4 interceptions, and that
win.
Results in a win because I actually believe in our roster construction at this point.
I feel like we win 27-26 or something dumb. 28-27, something dumb.
And maybe this time it is a Darnold, like, last-second touchdown.
Yeah.
Like, that could be it.
21-20. Seahawks, Panthers.
Win.
Seahawks, 49ers.
Win.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3,
I have them losing
4.
to the Colts.
Yes.
So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I think we win out.
And you think we went out?
I think we go.
What is our record then? What is our record? If we do that.
I do. I'm still debating, but I think we went out.
So that would be 6 games, right?
Let's say we win the next 5.
You think we win out?
I think we win out.
That would be more wins than we've ever had in the history of the franchise.
Yep. I think we're 14-3.
Partially because we have one more game.
I think we're 14-3.
Yeah, I will be losing my mind if we win out. I think we're 13-4. Which, okay, if we're 13-4, What are the Rams doing?
I know. I'm looking at now the Rams schedule, and I'm saying Rams Panthers, they win. Rams Cardinals, they win. Lions Rams, I still think they win. Rams Seahawks, let's say they lose. Rams Falcons, they win. Cardinals Rams, they win. So they lose 1.
So they go 5.
Mm-hmm.
So
now we're into the
So the
14-3 and 13-4, or 14-3, 14-3 tiebreaker situation.
and I don't know who wins that.
And I think they win the tiebreaker.
Yeah, they probably do because they're stupid. They
think
somehow
they're-
always win the tiebreaker. Yeah, if I were a betting man, gun to my head, I would say the Rams finish with 14,
And
with the caveat that we actually beat them, and we finish with 13.
I'm going to say we beat them and win out, and they win everything else. So they are 14-3. We are.
It's tough for me to
14-3.
say we win out simply from one point being we are a young team and we still do weird stuff. Like the games we've been dominating, we're like, we should be
totally.
Like the first Cardinals game should have been 44-22, and we're like, we barely won that game.
So to be clear,
Just
like
weird.
I'm not trying to be wildly optimistic here. I'm
No, you're just
literally
looking at
just
the
looking at
schedule.
this and going, the
Yeah.
Vikings are bad.
Yep.
The Falcons are now bad.
Yep.
The Colts have Daniel Jones, and our defense is not the same as when he last faced us. We should
Correct.
win.
They do have a good defense.
It is at our house.
Jonathan Taylor.
I look at our run defense and I say, you need to step up, and you should, and you have.
Yeah.
So, like, run into a brick wall
I think
and
it's a
just
good
see
game.
what happens.
I think it's a good game.
It's going to be an interesting game. And then the Rams Seahawks is the toss-up that, like, for the moment, I'm going Seahawks.
We-
but
we gotta
it's
win.
Something's going to happen.
We're trying to do something.
We're going to beat Panthers. We're going to end the one that could be really funky and could be really frustrating is losing to the 49ers at the end and losing both the games to the 49ers this year and both the games to the Rams.
I just don't see it.
Like,
I don't
that's
see
it.
it. It's weird that I'm actually not even nervous about the 49ers. I don't know why, but I just don't. I feel like we're going to beat them, and I don't think it's going to be super close.
Okay. So 13-4, 14-3, we'll see what happens.
Yep.
I think the worst case outcome is 12-5.
Mm-hmm.
5th seed.
Well, and losing to
It is what it is.
I would add on to that is being like 12 wins and 2 of those losses being against the Rams and the 49ers. Because those are the teams you need to win if you want to do anything. And I don't like it, but I feel like we are going to face the Rams again in the playoffs if we go 13 and they go 14. And I don't like where that game goes. That's where Sam Darnold, once again, does he get rattled?
So I look at this schedule, and I'm going to say that there's technically still a chance for the 1 seed. I don't really want the 1 seed. I want the 2. But
Selfishly, I want the 1 seed because that gives us the best chance to have as many home games so I can go to them. Because I've never been to a Seahawks home game, and that would be...
in the playoffs.
Yeah, in the playoffs, and that would be incredible. So
I'm just kind of in this weird zone where, like, every time I remember watching the Titans. Do you remember watching the Titans when they were the 1 seed and they had Derrick Henry just destroying dudes?
with Vrabel,
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Vrabel.
that's all they had though.
It was just that. Well, I think they had AJ Brown then, too.
They,
Right,
well,
they
they were a
Tannehill-
physical team.
yes,
they
they were
just did their
super
ceiling was
physical.
just not.
They had
that
to keep
high
it
for
low
whatever reason.
scoring and destroy
Yes,
people, right?
yes.
Like, and it was a Vrabel team, so it was a great team.
Yes.
Right? It was fun to watch, great to root for, and they just got destroyed on their first game off this first round bye. And the thing that stuck in my head, because I'm watching this with a Tennessee Titans fan, the thing that stuck in my head was, I don't want a week off.
So you don't want to do what
I
the
want
Vikings
to not
did.
do millions of travel.
Oh, wait, no, sorry, the Lions.
Yeah.
You don't want to do what the Lions did against the Rams. That's so stupid.
I do not want
Absolute
to
joke.
come off the bye and lose. I want, if I'm going to lose, like, it better not be to the 7 seed or the 6 seed, and it better not be to the other, guys down there.
Well, the counter argument is
But
historically, when the Seahawks are the number 1 seed, they have never not gone to a Super Bowl.
Right. And I'm happy to be the 1 seed, let's be clear. All right. I'm going to spend like 3 seconds here before we wrap up going through the Huskies, Washington Huskies
Do
football
your
team
do your
schedule.
dog talk.
Dog talk. So I really only want to talk about this because of one reason: tomorrow.
Okay.
I wish you were over to watch this game tomorrow at noon.
You'll be in the hospital,
I'll be in the
Daniel.
hospital, right? Yeah, having a baby. I won't be having the baby, to be clear.
You're
but,
right.
you
Your
know,
wife will
whatever.
be having the baby. It is November 28th. Tomorrow
His
will be
prediction
November
is-
29th, 2025. Daniel will have another baby girl.
All right. Oh, we have another prediction. Oh, good. I got to look at my phone later and see that list. I have right now, I think I had like December 1st, really early in the morning, baby boy, but we'll see.
Well, you saying that no McCafferty or whatever the
It's going to be a girl until it's proved to be. Yeah, everyone's got girls.
Yes.
All right, so UW is 8-3 on the season. They dropped
Jedfish.
their Jedfish. They dropped their final chance to actually be in the college football playoff when they dropped the game to Wisconsin with an ugly 10-13 loss away. It was really gross. No, Wisconsin plays tough, totally fine, hard nosed. We were ranked at the
Badgers.
time,
Yep.
Badgers, but it was gross. I mean, it was hard to watch. It was the young QB looking like a young QB, right? Looking like bad Kyler Murray.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like
That's-
the inaccurate skipped passes kind of thing.
Yikes.
Way overthrown,
Yep.
those kind of stuff.
Yep.
And Jonah Coleman was somehow like available, not available. Your superstar running back who's supposed to be drafted really high and looks really good. Like, that was really rough. The big loss to Michigan earlier in the season didn't help either, but the Wisconsin loss was what put the nail in the coffin for the college football playoffs. Now, no one actually had expectations for us to go to the playoffs this year.
Yeah. Year 2.
That's not it. Yeah.
Yep.
It's year 2. And again, college football is so screwed up right now. Like, Jedfish could leave this next year. Everyone could leave this next year. No one has to stay. There's no
So
contracts.
weird.
It doesn't matter. Everyone's a free agent all the time.
That's like when you put in the cheat codes for a video game and the whole game is ruined and you just run around and you're like,
Yeah.
I'm bored.
It's just, it's
Yep.
dumb. So tomorrow we face number 6,
Who's number 6?
Oregon.
Oh.
This is the rivalry game at 12:30. So if I'm not having a baby,
You'll be angry tweeting about it.
I will be angry tweeting about it. Let's be honest.
Well, because
So-
if they are ranked number 6 and you are ranked,
We're not currently ranked.
Not
We're
ranked.
out. So 25, top 25 still get the number associated by their name. Outside of the top 25, they don't put the number by your name. You're not ranked.
Is this
You
game
could
in-
be number 28 in the whole country, but that's not ranked. Right.
college is weird.
It's weird. That being said,
And it's in Oregon.
it is here.
Okay.
It is a home game.
And we struggle with home games.
That
a
is
Seattle
true with
fan
the
base.
Seahawks. That is true with the Seahawks. Let's double check.
It's true with the
home
Mariners
and
in the
away
playoffs
schedule
as well.
this
It's
year.
also true with the Sonics.
Home schedule this year 5
Right,
and
they
1.
don't exist.
Away
5 and 1?
schedule, 3 and 2.
Okay, so that favors you a little bit, and I know we hate them,
We
So-
do hate them.
but they also hate us.
Correct. They hate us.
They're also ranked number 6, which, from a mathematical standpoint, means they are good.
right. Their roster's really good,
And
and their coach is really competent.
are, actually, I heard a clip of him talking. It was 9:50. I heard a clip of him
Jetfish?
talking. No, the Oregon coach.
Oh yeah.
And then the commentators were saying, for once, can they just say they hate each other? Like, there just needs to be more sports hate in this rivalry. And I was like,
I
respect
love that.
I respect
love
that.
That's it.
Okay.
So this is the one, right? This is going to be the determination. This is going to carry over through the whole offseason. That's what I'm trying to say. You win this, or you keep it really, really, really close, right?
yeah.
Fish probably stays.
Ooh.
A lot of the players probably stay. Quarterback.
He might bounce if he loses this.
Current scuttlebutt is he's bouncing, period.
Oh, gosh. That's so stupid.
He's denying it
Of course he
Everyone's
is.
denying it.
Everyone denies.
because no one has to tell the truth for
That's
any
so
reason.
stupid.
Anyways, whatever.
Okay.
I like him. I think he knows how to play the game. I think he's a businessman. He gets it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Um,
Okay,
I'm
so
looking at
actually
this
a big
and
deal.
I'm saying like this is kind of the big deal for next year, right? Like you keep it close, and I've got one tiny wager down on this game of them to cover, and that's all of Washington to cover. I think I put it up to like 9 points, like bet it way down. If they keep it within 9, that's actually crazy. Here's the deal. There is a chance for an upset. There's always a chance for an upset.
Well,
with
college especially.
Wazoo has upset us before when we're highly ranked.
Right,
We've
yep.
upset Oregon. Oregon's upset us. It's happened many, 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 many times.
Yep.
There's no reason we can't kick them in the balls on the way up.
Yep.
Right? Like, drop them just out of the college football playoffs. That would be the funniest thing in the world.
Just like that Panthers player did to the 49ers wide
Oh, my
receiver.
goodness. Yeah. Oh, poor Juwan Jennings. Ooh. Double tap. So,
Okay.
here's my keys.
Okay.
Keys are Jonah Coleman plays the whole game. It matters a lot in college football if your superstar running back plays.
Of course.
Damon Williams is your starting quarterback. He's, again, my Kyler Murray comp,
Yeah.
but good one in college, right?
So he needs to play
Young.
well.
He can't overthrow balls all the time. He's really struggling with that accuracy thing.
Yeah.
Final key, defense has to actually make some stops. Defense is really struggling early in the season and against quality opponents to make good stops. My examples from that are Ohio State and Michigan, 2 of your big losses. They put up 24 points. That's not huge in college football, but you put up 6 or 7 points against those 2 guys. So it's really about the offense, but the defense needs to give them a few examples,
Yeah.
a few stops.
Yeah.
Key ones early on are great. Better is third quarter also, right?
Huh.
Like, if you let a couple things through when you're exhausted, we all get it
Yep.
in the fourth. But let's see what happens. So I'm gonna be tuned in unless my wife is giving birth,
Oh, she will
which
be.
she will be.
So.
So we will see. I think that's all I got. Any other closing thoughts for you?
We have the game on Sunday for the Seahawks. Really, really excited to see my first blowout in a long time. Hoping that comes true. Because the next game I'll be at will be the Rams, and that will be.
That's a game of hatred.
It's a game of hatred. Luckily for that game, there will be like no Rams fans because Rams fans aren't really a thing.
Okay, summarize this.
Okay.
Do you hate the Cardinals, 49ers, or Rams most now, today, this year?
Today, this year, right now, it's the Rams. Yeah, because the 49ers are like a carcass.
I hate the 49ers every year, no matter what. And I hate the Rams when they're good.
Well, the 49ers to me are almost sad pathetic. Like, what can you say as a 49ers fan to me? What can you say? You have not won a Super Bowl since 1995. It's been 30 years. And not only that, but you have, like, hilariously lost 2 games you probably should have won against the same team twice.
Yeah.
And your head coach is an alcoholic. The Rams, they actually did it. They actually won a Super Bowl, and there's no head coach who celebrates like Sean McVay after a win, especially after beating the Seahawks in a game that they had no business being.
And the Cardinals are just The Office.
And the Cardinals are Michael Scott from The Office, so they're funny.
They're
so
funny. The Rams, the reason why I don't hate them as much as I think I should is because Matthew Stafford is one of my guys.
you like Mac? Yes.
Because I love underdog stories. This guy killed
So
it in
like
Detroit,
Jared Goff.
destroyed things.
He's not
Jared
underdog
Goff.
anymore. He's won a Super Bowl.
Jared Goff has won a Super Bowl.
Matt Stafford. No longer
he
underdog.
finally came true to his talent.
So
and
now
matched
put him in the dumpster.
I don't want him to win another Super Bowl, but I like him a lot because
No.
he came up through it.
No.
That's the story I want. I don't want the Mahomes won in year 1 and just kept winning and winning and winning. Right? That's boring.
No, I
I'm
agree.
kinda done with that.
I agree, but you definitely need to hate the Rams more than you do
I
currently.
know. I'll keep reading.
That'll be a fun
All right.
game. So
Well, that's it for tonight. That's nice and long podcast for you.
Cool hour half plus. So
Yeah. Well, without further ado, we'll chat soon.
congratulations on your new baby girl.
Yeah, just the crying starts in the background, somewhere off in the distance. Oh no! All right, that's it. Good night.